A warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining us. This is Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I'm Ruth Aguala. Let's start from an update from Kaduna. A joint team of security operatives rescue 26 students and teacher abducted from Bethel Secondary School, Kujama, on the outskirts of the metropolis. Confirming the incident, Kaduna State Police Command says armed bandits in large number gained access into the school, overpowered the security guards and made their way into the students' hostel, where they abducted an unspecified number of students into the forest. The command says rescue operation is ongoing to ensure that all victims are safely returned. And in Zaria, there was an abduction case at the Center of Leprosy and Tuberculosis. Our correspondent, Tina Toro, is live on the phone right now to speak to us on the incident. Tina, I'm sure you can hear me loud and clear. What actually happened, Tina?
Gunmen invaded the staff quarters of the National Tuberculosis and outskirts of Zaria and abducted 10 people, including 2 children, a 7-month-old baby and a 2-year-old. So far, nothing has been heard from the abductors, as they are yet to establish contact with family members of their victims. The kidnappers came in large number, started shooting sporadically, after which they gained access into 4 houses by scaling the fence. Well, residents are still traumatized, saying that they are afraid for their own safety, praying that the kidnappers will not return. They said that though some of their staff who live outside the premises have fallen victims to kidnappers, this is the first time people are being kidnapped from the center.
Okay.
The Fire Divisional Police Headquarters was also attacked and 1 Hilux vehicle destroyed. But police refused to speak and have also refused to grant access into the premises.
Okay, well, from what you can gather, are there any security measures that have been put in place to forestall future occurrence like that?
According to the management of the center, they said they have spoken with security operatives who have assured them of sending men to patrol the area to forestall further occurrences. That is it.
Okay, what is the mood like in that area? Talking about Sai, what's the mood like?
The place is calm now, but the people are still traumatized. We met a man who 5 members of his family have been abducted, his wife, 2 kids, his sister-in-law abducted. He couldn't really express himself because he was in shock. The people are in shock. They are traumatized. They are devastated. They are confused. They do not know what to do. They do not know where to go to. And Saya is a very peaceful community, and it is also an old route to Bilingwari. Bilingwari is also notorious for kidnappings, but this route has since been abandoned due to insecurity.
All right. Thank you very much, Tina Toro. We'll definitely keep in touch with you to get any latest update. Thank you for your time. All right, our correspondent there, Tina Toro, giving us update on the abduction in Zaria. All right, now let's look at more issues. The southern, okay, we'll get to southern governors. Let's take a story from Uyo. As the Akwa Ibom state government grapple with issues of cultism in the state, the increase in cases of cultism among students in secondary schools is becoming worrisome. Clement Bariku reports that already the government has vowed to uproot the menace in the interests of future generations.
The popular catch them young adage appears to have taken a negative dimension in public secondary schools in Akwa Ibom State. First, it was Government Technical College Ewet that was shut down early last year following cult activities and student unrest, which led to the destruction of school property and inflicting of injuries on staff. More recently, another secondary school is in the news for cult-related activities, and this time around, it is Uyo High School, and as would be expected, it has been shut down. These are just few cases that have come into the public domain due to the student attitude that went to the extreme. There are, however, pockets of rumored cult activities in some other schools, particularly within Uyo metropolis. Some residents of Uyo have reacted differently to this ugly trend.
Lack of home training, quality home training. Parents don't usually take care of their children again. They just leave them to walk wayward.
There are rules. People who follow rules, they do things the correct way. So cultism is as a result of disobedience.
I believe the best thing we should do, not necessarily the parents, the government, everybody, is to look at the underlying factor of this problem.
The state government and security agencies are re-strategizing to address the issue, as Governor Dom Emmanuel at different fora has vowed to end the menace of cultism in secondary schools.
I'm sure you know this, you didn't hear cultism in secondary school. These days, secondary school, and if there's not in the primary school, we need to kill that monster in our state.
For now, students of Uyo High School are at home, pending the conclusion of investigation. In Uyo, Clement Barkui, NTA News.
The Southern governors, under the aegis of the Southern Nigerian Governors Forum, have reinstated their commitment to promoting a united Nigeria that can guarantee equity, fairness and justice in an atmosphere of true federalism. Now, this was the position of the governors as they review the state of the nation as it affects the 3 geopolitical zones where their state is domiciled. Hosted by the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the closed-door meeting has in attendance 11 governors, including all the Southwest governors and 4 deputy governors representing their principals. Let's look at other issues. Advocacy on the protection of oil and gas infrastructure has been emphasized. Stakeholders at a town hall meeting on protection of oil and gas infrastructure in Abuja condemned the unpatriotic move. They identified destruction of critical infrastructure in the oil and gas industry as a major setback for the country's economy. A total of 1,161 pipeline points were vandalized within 21 months from January 2019 and September 2020. The stakeholders bemoan the billions of naira being expended on the maintenance of pipelines vandalized by hoodlums.
With an average of 200,000 barrels per day lost to the wanton damage to pipelines and a huge amount of about 60 billion naira yearly to repair and maintain the vandalized points, one can only imagine the impact on the economy.
Well, timely provision of intelligence report is critical to ensuring proactive rather than reactive operations by the Army. The Chief of Army Staff, Major General Farouk Yahaya, stated this while flagging off a medical outreach to commemorate the 2021 week-long Army Day celebration in Abuja. Let's hear more from Defense correspondent Ismail Musa.
93-years-old Fatou Magba in Mpape, a suburb of Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, has been suffering from back pain for the past 3 years. The ailment affects her ability to work. Thanks to the free medical outreach organized to mark the 2021 Nigerian Army Day celebration, Fatou Magba now has a wheelchair. Just like Magba, many patients are here with different health challenges.
All Nigerian Army, they want us to live long. So may Nigeria live long. We thank them. This is your army.
To the Chief of Army Staff, Major General Farouk Yahaya, the outreach taking place in different parts of the country is another way of giving back to the society for their continued support to ongoing army operations.
The criminals, they are within us. We know them. Sometimes they are our neighbors. So what we can do to help, indeed to help ourselves, is to bring this information that we have to the army where we are deployed and to other services and other security agencies.
The event features free eye screening, distribution of corrective lens, cancer screening, and presentation of wheelchairs, among others. From Mpape in Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
The federal government says it will continue to come down hard on manufacturers of substandard products towards improving lives of Nigerians through standards and make the country stand tall among Committee of Nations. The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Adeni Adebayo, gave the indication at the official commissioning of the Standards Organization of Nigeria, Ekiti State Office and Laboratory Complex, Ado-Ekiti. Let's hear more from Ayodeji Ogunshaki.
Nigerians have been facing challenges of substandard products, a situation that had negative effects on their socio-economic well-being. The inauguration of the ultra-modern office and laboratory complex will no doubt ensure that remote areas get easy access to a laboratory to test their products and as well ensure that Nigerian products meet the quality for exportation.
The organization has recorded significant achievements in the prosecution of offenders in the past year. And more arrests and prosecutions are on the way, especially for foreign nationals and their Nigerian collaborators who try to turn Nigeria into a dumping ground for substandard products.
The Director General of the Standard Organization of Nigeria, Malam Farouk Salim, noted that this will address the infrastructural deficit as it is a confirmation of the determination of the federal government to provide a conducive environment.
That will give us the opportunity to do more work and more tests for the products. So the facility actually is more like an enabler so that we can do a job very well.
The Ekiti State Governor, Dr. Kaudi Fayemi, described the office complex as a strategic federal government presence which will add value to the economic development of the state and as well enhance standard. From Ado-Ekiti, Ayodeji Ogunshaki, NTA News.
400 illegal structures constituting security threat along the Umaru Musa Yaradua Expressway have been demolished. Chairman FCT Ministerial Task Team on City Sanitation, Ikaruata, who led the exercise, says the operation was necessitated by the desire of the FCT administration to ensure protection of lives and property of the residents. Shuaibu Onoze Yakubu reports.
The operation, which lasted for several hours, was sequel to a disturbing report that some illegal makeshift structures were being erected along Airport Road, despite series of demolitions earlier carried out. The heavy security presence was to prevent any breakdown of law and order during the exercise, as the team raided different parts of Lube community.
The people here have also gotten the message very clearly that when we say go, we mean go. Very sadly, very painfully, where we cleared just 7 days ago appeared to be fully rebuilt. The Babambola settlement here, we are almost fully rebuilt, and we have cleared it again. This time around, are taking more drastic actions here.
Director of the FCT Security Services at the Mugwari warned that the administration will not condone a situation where criminal elements try to overrun the city with illegal structures serving as hideouts.
There are so many nuisance which come along with its own security implication, particularly all this Babambola along the wall that the FCT built to screen the village. Those are the major challenges that recently the Honorable Minister presented a paper as regard to the items of the FC that has been vandalized. So those are major areas where such people find where to keep those items.
The illegal settlers, the criminal element are hibernating. So we developed a strategy that will dislodge them.
With the political will and renewed commitment from the tax team, the nation's capital will soon be rid of criminals, as the city will no longer be a safe haven for them. Shuaibu Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
All right, let's join Kende in Lagos for some more reports from that end. Kende.
Hello, Ruth, and welcome to Lagos. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says more than 250,000 Nigerians have opened an account to carry out various activities on its registration portal since its chairman announced the resumption of the continuous voter registration exercise less than 2 weeks ago. National Commissioner and Chairman Information and Voter Education of INEC, Festus Okoye, said this at a workshop organized to train heads of ICT unit of the technological application of the new continuous voter registration system. Margaret Olale reports.
Putting into consideration the indispensability of continuous voter registration to conducting free and credible elections, INEC since 2011 has consistently maintained a robust voters database. This informed the launch of the online pre-registration system to incorporate new voters into the electoral diary.
This commission is determined to deepen the use of technology in the electoral process. We must improve and continue to improve with every election and with every electoral cycle. That must be our legacy.
The commission, through the platform, is building on its existing structure of strengthening the use of ICT to deepen democratic practice.
In view of recent activities countrywide, it is envisaged that there will be a large turnout of prospective registrants. Hence, the need for us to be far-sighted in our preparations.
The European Center for Electoral Support commended INEC's strive for perfection in electoral process in Nigeria, with a pledge to improve technical capacity and support for the ongoing continuous voter registration.
Managing a huge voting population like in Nigeria requires the adoption of best available technologies to ensure that the data are better managed, easily accessible, and interactive with the citizens.
Heads of INEC's ICT units across the 36 states of the Federation, including the FCT, will undergo training on process and procedures relating to online CVR. In Lagos, Michael Olale, NTA News.
In a bid to enhance civil-military relations in its area of responsibility, the 81 Division of the Nigerian Army has embarked on a free medical outreach targeting health challenges in its host communities. Lynn Nilike reports that the General Officer commanding 81 Division flagged off the exercise at Aja Ilaje in Lekki.
Aja Ilaje is a community close to the seasides and one of the largest neighborhoods in Lekki area of Lagos State, hosting the 81 Division of the Nigerian Army. The presence of these detachments from the 81 Division of the Nigerian Army, led by the General Officer Commanding, is not for combat reasons, but rather an initiative to deliver free health services to the people. After several years of struggling with diabetes, 32 years old Adiola, along with other beneficiaries, can now heave a sigh of relief, courtesy of these free medical services.
I came, I do check-up, so they told me it was I again. He treated me for hypertension.
The General Officer Commanding described the outreach as one way the Nigerian Army is touching the lives of its host communities and promoting military-civil relations.
So we try to partner with communities along the waterways so that they see anything, they will report and we'll keep an eye on it, all with the aim of ensuring that we have a safe 81 Div area of responsibility.
Naowa 81 Division chapter also extended a hand of fellowship to the community. The medical outreach is part of activities lined up for the Nigerian Army Day celebration. In Lagos, Lynn Lenake, NTA News.
This is Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. We'll take some messages now. Nationwide continues shortly with Obey in Benin.
Compatriots, our country can be as great as we want.
Let us all commit ourselves to its greatness.
We must be willing to set aside our differences, unite and stay as one.
In our expansive landmass, human and material resources, and plurality lies our strength.
Let our challenges lead us to rediscover our common ground, and together, let's find solutions.
This will take some time, so it requires patience, tolerance, and forgiveness from every one of us.
Let all hands come on deck to protect and transform our country.
Let us unite and see each other not as adversaries, but as brothers and sisters.
Together, we can build a better Nigeria. for ourselves and for the next generations.
This message is brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA, with support from Nigerian Television Authority, NTA.
Your kids are smart. Your kids are creative. Your kids are business savvy. Now they get a chance to prove it and maybe even start their own business. The goal of the Emerging Africa competition is to raise a new breed of industrialists. Upload a video of your child pitching a business idea or showcasing an existing business to get a chance to enter the 3-week bootcamp where final winners will emerge. Admission is free. Age range is 10 to 17 years. Entries open June 28th, 2021 and ends July 17th, 2021. Bootcamp opens August 8th and ends August 28th, 2021. For more information, visit our website www.teacompetition.org, our Facebook page TA Competition, our Instagram The Emerging Africa. For inquiries and sponsorship, call 0803-545-8855 or 0817-678-8284.
Welcome to Benin. Nigeria Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, Edo State Command, has discovered and destroyed 3 farms measuring about 23 hectares in Ugeudu community in Umude local government area of Edo State. Ifoma Okafo, who accompanied the NDLEA personnel on the raid, reports that 7 suspects in connection with the crime, including the manager and one of his workers, led the men of the command to the farms.
When the NDLEA personnel stormed the sleepy community of Ugeudu, it still took the team 1 hour to drive to the point where their vehicles could no longer access the farm. Then everyone had to trek for another 1 hour to the top of the hill where the farms were located. On the journey to the farm, a worker was apprehended on his way to the farm.
Yeah, when they can't catch me, so like both farm, now they can't catch me, but not be my own, be worker.
The drug plants were all destroyed, including the nursery plants.
And while we are measuring the farm, a further search for exhibit to recover these 11 bags of cannabis that are already processed from the farm, awaiting evacuation for them to be sold. We all know that Edo State is the cannabis sativa producing state. And from our own end here, we are doing our best to make sure that it does not come out of the forest, because once it's in the town, you cannot easily get it. But getting it here now, you are cutting off the supply.
This is another cannabis sativa farm being destroyed by the men of the NDLEA Edo State after the last warehouse was discovered and destroyed in Okbeje in Owan West local government area of Edo State. In Ugeudu, Ifoma Okafo, NTA News.
Ekiti State government says it will not relent in promoting policies and programs aimed at adding value to the people, especially those at the grassroots. This came to the fore as the state government interfaces with the people at various communities in the state. Kola Adebabuyi reports.
Over the years, residents at local areas in towns and communities in the state have no doubt been finding it difficult to be involved in participatory government, which could allow them table demands as it affects them. Having realized that local government has closest arm to the people and the need to involve participatory governance and collaboration with relevant organs for accountability at the grassroots, the state government is involving the initiative towards strengthening efforts with the local council stakeholders in entrenching good governance.
And we need to get to the grassroots. We have to sensitize them to ensure that they do the right thing to get the right result.
From one community to another, the forum afforded the leadership and other stakeholders in local governments the opportunity to engage the governor's delegation to express their demands.
Now we can see now that the synergy between the state government and the local government.
It's a good thing that it happened this time around. And you can see that we didn't shy away from the truth.
The stakeholders believe promoting government's efforts will go a long way in enhancing good governance for people of the state. In Ado Ekiti, Kola Adebabuyi, NTA News.
And that's it from Benin. It's back to Ruth in Abuja for the continuation of Nationwide.
Thank you, Obehi. Welcome back. The ban on the importation of rice by the federal government is paying off as the Cross River State government, through its newly constructed Abuja ultra-modern rice mill, is set to increase the production of rice in the state and country. Maureen Leo Ajom was at the mill and now reports.
Rice is one of Nigeria's staples, and the demand for the commodity by an average Nigerian family has always been on the rise. Hence, the need for a bigger cultivation of the crop to meet needs of the citizenry. Working with the vision of the federal government to meeting the rice demands of the people, the Cross River State government, through this 5 tons per hour daily Ogoja ultra-modern rice mill, is expected to flood the markets with standard processed locally cultivated rice, while also improving on the state's economy and the country's revenue generation. Cross River State Commissioner for Agriculture and Natural Resources, Okon Ouna, goes around various stages and units of the rice processing plant and assures of the state government's readiness to empower farmers in the state to cultivate enough rice to feed the mill, as well as build capacity of the youth for service delivery in the rice mill.
Governor of Cross River State, is keying into the president's vision of food security and sustainability. The factory is ready for commissioning. It's ready. So it's now left for farmers in Cross River State, farmers outside Cross River State to pull their paddies into the rice factory in Cross River State. As you can see the paddies lying here, these are paddies that have been acquired from some farms, local farms within the Abuja local government area. This warehouse is supposed to be filled.
From the massive investment we have seen here, so many of our youths will be engaged. We need to get our people trained.
Cross River State government's industrialization drive is spread across the length and breadth of the state. From Ogoja local government area of Cross River State, Maureen Leo Ajom, NTA News.
As part of efforts to manage and mitigate flood disasters in 2021, guest on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria advocated the need for more collaboration among the different tiers of government, as well as interagency collaboration and information sharing. Now, this formed the crux of their discussion on 2021 flood outlook and implications. Alika Okwanachi Arua reports.
The 2021 flood outlook shows different severity across the country, with many states and local governments likely to be affected with heavy flooding, including the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. To address this problem, experts on flood management says proactive measures need to be put in place early to control and properly channel rainwater, as well as provide succor, such as shelter, to those that may be affected.
We provide a monthly update of the pattern changes towards that. But the latest update we are having is that a substantial part of the northern states are going to have above normal rainfall.
Just as NEMA has produced contingency plan, has mapped the highly probable areas, the same is expected at the state level.
In addition to public sensitization and community involvement in mitigating impact of flooding, the guests also urged estate developers in the Federal Capital Territory to ensure proper channeling of water and dispose of refuse to prevent flash flooding.
We've been advising state governments, why not create another city by diverting a portion of that water, certain meters wide, certain meters deep, and then channel it to a virgin land and create a big reservoir there, like what we have here, what we call Jabi Lake.
The FCT is overpopulated, and what we can only do is to involve everybody to all-inclusive. Our local divers are receiving modern training as I'm talking to you. We are equipping them with the modern gadgets.
The Nigerian Hydrological Services Agency, NISA, has predicted July to September as the period with the most amount of rainfall in the country. In Abuja, Alika Opanachi, Arua, NTA News.
The National Emergency Management Agency says training and retraining of its staff and all the coordinating agencies would continue to be on the front burner of its activities in order to swiftly respond to any emergent disaster that may occur around the country. Director General of the agency, Mustafa Habib Ahmed, stated this at the Mass Casualty Management Component Training for Crisis Response in MDA's Ilyasu Ali Yakubu reports.
In any form of disaster, whether flood, fire, windstorm, or collapsed building that occur, what comes to mind immediately is the number of casualties that may have been recorded in such disaster. This training, which drew participants from the Guards Brigade, Defense Intelligence, Department of State Services, Federal Fire Service, the Nigerian Police, Office of the National Security Advisor, Federal Safety Corps, Red Cross and NEMA, is geared towards acquiring new skills and share experiences towards re-strategizing to heighten the level of preparedness and sharpen the alertness level to achieve the goal of mass casualty handling. Participants say the training has been instrumental.
We are here to acquire more knowledge and to get acquainted to what we are supposed to do.
Being the first responder in FCT, we will be able to, I will be very, very confident to tackle any emergency.
This training could not have come at a better time than now, that the country is facing enormous challenges occasioned by natural and human-induced hazards.
It's very important that we have this kind of exercise so that at the end of the day, when it happens, we will not just be spectators. We will be able to respond adequately and efficiently.
Key players urge all participating stakeholders to see the training as an avenue to acquire more knowledge in reducing disabilities and mass fatalities that usually characterize the aftermath of large-scale disasters that require multi-agency response. In Abuja, Ilyasu Ali Yakubu, NTA News.
Right, Just will be our next stop, and Frama is already waiting. Frama.
Glad to have you join us in Grassroots. Governor Simon Lalong has assured people of the state of his determination to deepen collaboration with the federal government for the success of the National Homegrown School Feeding Program in the state. The governor said this when he received the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management on assessment of the Social Investment Program in Plateau State at the Government House, Jos. Priscilla Grumnan reports.
The National Social Investment Program, NCIP, is an initiative of the federal government aimed at bringing millions of Nigerians out of poverty. One of the 4 clusters of the NCIP program is the National Homegrown School Feeding Program, where pupils benefit from 1 meal per day during school term nationwide. The minister, Sadia Umar Farouk, represented, said the team was in the state for the enumeration of beneficiaries and scaling up of the National Homegrown School Feeding Program to ensure beneficiaries get value for the program.
We are in Plateau State.
to bring more Nigerians under the umbrella of the government social protection mechanism to look at scaling up the numbers of peoples benefiting from the program as directed by His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari.
Governor Simon Lalong commended the federal government for the initiative in pushing Nigerians above the poverty line.
The school feeding program will apparently go a long way in encouraging school enrollment. That way, government is making education available. Accessibility is guaranteed.
Plateau State government, he says, will not relent in ensuring that accurate data is given for maximum impact of the program in the state. In Jos, Priscilla Grumnan, NTA News.
More than 300 persons in Jos South local government area have benefited from the free medical outreach carried out by the 3 Division of the Nigerian Army to mark the Army Day celebration. The Acting General Officer commanding 3 Division, Brigadier General Bello Mohammed, said the gesture is to showcase the good synergy of the Army with the people. Ekemeren Kanen Ladoja reports that this year's celebration is tagged a professional and ready Nigerian Army, a prerequisite for successful operation in a joint environment.
The medical outreach covered general consultation, dental and eye treatments, medical tests for malaria, typhoid, hepatitis B and C, amongst others. The beneficiaries, mostly residents of Longwa, Tunwada and state locust, could not hide their joy as they applauded the division.
It will help alleviate the poverty of the less privileged.
The exercise is very good because there's so many people that they cannot even go to hospital.
The Acting General Officer commanding 3 Division says the medical outreach is meant to foster civil-military relationship as well as rekindle trust in the populace, even with the security challenges bedeviling the nation.
This free medical outreach for the Nigerian Army Day celebration 2021 is aimed at the Nigerian Army giving back to the society in order to reduce the medical burden on the populace.
For the Plateau State government, the outreach by the military is laudable, being an extension of the services of the military for the country.
The whole preaching these days is towards universal health coverage.
The Nigerian Army Day celebration is an annual event which was first commemorated on the 6th of July 1978. In Jos, Ekemeren Kaneng Ladoja, NTA News.
We'll pause here for a break, after which we'll join Lanre in Ibadan.
Nigerian youths are about the greatest assets the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth entrepreneurship support years by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youths, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria. Pacifying the youths, unifying the nation.
The Council of Our Fathers.
I believe we have fought one civil war too many in this country. So those who experience it will run away from it.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation together.
back, and you're still watching Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. Welcome to Ibadan. Rescue operations have been concluded at Molete Bode Market in Ibadan, where a gas tanker rammed into the market early morning on Sunday. Kemi Oshin, who was at the scene, brings back the situation report.
Following the unfortunate incident, which claimed lives, left many injured and goods worth millions of naira damaged, several agencies of government collaborated in the rescue operations to prevent fire outbreak from the gas tanker, which could have led to more fatalities till early hours on Monday. Into the market. This is the exact point where the gas-laden truck rammed into Bode Market, and some people like 11-year-old Ridwan is lucky to be alive.
I am in the shop when that vehicle is coming. I'm running away. When that person that helped me to buy soap have died in that place.
The vehicle was losing control from there. It just entered here from all that place. It just followed our markets. If those people around, those people are going on the road, they match them.
Commenting on the incident, Oyo State Sector Commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps emphasized on the need to prevent future occurrence.
Having markets encroaching on the road is a very big danger. If the driver is very careful and drives according to the rules, he will be able to control the vehicle.
Meanwhile, traders are still sorting remnants of their wares as they call on government for intervention. In Ibadan, Kemi Oshin, NTA News.
We apologize for the poor audio output of that report. Moving ahead, about 10 people sustained various degrees of injuries while an under-element car and a motorcycle were burned in a gas explosion during the rush hour on Monday along Arigbabu on Folagbade Ibadan Road. Correspondent Joel Bokwola reports that the victims are receiving treatment at various hospitals in Ijebu.
According to eyewitness, a commercial tricycle operator conveying gas cylinder had a flat tire and pulled over to change his tire. Unknown to him, the gas was already leaking before a spark from another car engine triggered the explosion. We just had a loud explosion and everybody started running helter-skelter, and so many people were screaming, shouting for help. Even after the evacuation of the affected under-element car, the keke napep and the affected motorcycles, residents are still in shock due to the unfortunate incident. Some of the victims are receiving treatment at the state hospital Ijebu, where the management denied access to newsmen. One of the victims who is receiving treatment at a private hospital shared his experience.
As I was driving, immediately I left at the roundabout. The only thing I could just remember is I heard a sound. Then in couples of minutes, where I just see that everywhere was just pure white. While inside the car, immediately I saw fire inside the car. So, and I thank God that I've actually dropped my family. Because assuming my family is still in the car, I'm very sorry. It could be another story.
The doctor said some of the victims have been referred to a specialist hospital. Calm has returned to the scene of the incident. In Ijebu, Joel Bukbola, NTA News.
Let's now rejoin Ruth in Abuja for continuation of Nationwide.
Thank you very much, Larry. The Hibdet University and British American Business School is stressing that knowledge and research are vital resources to growth and development of any nation. This was at the Matriculation Honorary Doctorate Award and Professorial Fellow Award of the university held in Abuja. Muplang Dakok reports.
And the next people are the Dean of Faculties.
What stands out among this group of recipients is their excitement, enthusiasm, and genuine interest to contribute to the political and economic development of the country, with the various degrees acquired from the Hibdet University and British American Business School.
And I'm sure you leave your name in the print of the academia. May God help you.
NTA's Executive Director, Administration and Training, Steve Egbo, and 4 others were awarded Research Professional Fellow, while 10 others were awarded honorary doctorate degrees.
We need to engage in more strategic thinking and strategic re-evaluation of where we are, so that as the 21st century is moving, we can move along with it.
Matriculating students, graduates, and awardees were charged to uphold the virtues of hard work, discipline, and transcendence while they contribute their quota to national development. In Abuja, Muplang Dakok, NTA News.
The Nigerian Society of Engineers is planning a robust mentorship and personnel development models to facilitate the emergence of new crop of engineers in Nigeria. At the induction of new corporate members in Abuja, emphasis was laid on continuous professional development for young engineers. Kelvin Ehonuahe reports.
To remain relevant in the ever-changing world and play their part effectively in the nation's development process, the pattern of professional training of engineers has to reflect the realities of modern world driven by technology. That is why the Nigerian Society of Engineers is evolving new methods of sharpening the skills of its members by constantly exposing them to strategies for successful practice. The induction ceremony was another avenue to remind young engineers of their roles in nation building and the need to embrace ethical practices.
The sky is the limit for them because the environment is there. The government is trying their best to ensure that the infrastructure are put in place. And we will try and make sure that we also give them all necessary support. And very soon we'll get there.
It has encouraged me and challenged me, one, to network more, to study more, and to try to be better in my career and my profession, above all to act ethically.
48 new corporate members were inducted into the Abuja branch with a charge on them to break new grounds. In Abuja, Kelvin Ehonuahe, NTA News.
Let's look at ICT. The Nigerian Communications Commission says it has exceeded its 36 billion naira projected revenue from spectrum license fees for 2021, having recorded over 150 billion naira from this revenue source within the 5 months of the year. A statement by the Director of Public Affairs, Dr. Ikechukwu Andide, indicates that the figure represents over 400% increase in revenue budget performance in respect of spectrum fees generated by the Commission between January 1st and May 31st, 2021, reflecting significant contribution to the revenue drive of the federal government. The Executive Vice Chairman of the Commission, Professor Umar Garba Dambata, said the impressive upstick in spectrum fee was the result of the favorable turn of events for the telecom sector, which at the time of preparing the estimates for the 2021 budget of the Commission was not clear due to the ravaging impact of COVID-19 on the global economy. Dambata noted that the 10-year spectrum fees made by some of the major operators directly impacted the projected spectrum fee favorably, adding that the Commission believes that enthronement of effective regulation will continue to improve the general performance of the telecoms sector, the statement stressed. The Christian life is all about honoring God directly and indirectly through honoring constituted authorities by which he rules the world. National Vice President of the Apostolic Church of Nigeria, Pastor Emmanuel Shegun Awojide, made the accession at the 22nd Area Convention of the Church held in Abuja. Hadiza Godwin Ebune reports.
The blessings attached to honoring God are enormous, says the National Vice President, the Apostolic Church Nigeria, Pastor Emmanuel Shegun Awojide, who pointed out that the Lord should be honored at all times and in every situation.
When you honor him, we honor you. When you call upon him, he will answer you. What is not expected, God will do it unto you. Because you know him and because you honor him, he will honor you.
We are talking of honoring God. It is living according to the precept of God. Living holy life, sanctified life, fearing God, and doing His will in His entirety.
Many people, they lose a lot of things because they are ignorant of this reality of honoring God. We honor God, then God will honor us.
Other church leaders further state that human beings transgress the will of God in many ways, which give root to all forms of human wickedness in failure to honor God.
We have to honor God every time, all the time, because He's worthy of our honor. There are blessings for it in the time of peace, good health, blessings, and so many things like that.
It is necessary because without honoring God, we cannot do anything better in this house.
Any woman that honors God, the home will be settled because God does not cheat. Even though it's not a respecter of persons, but when He says something and we do it, blessings are embedded in obeying His injunction.
The Apostolic Church Nigerian's 22nd Area Convention has as its theme the blessings of honoring God.
Hadiza Godwin there reporting, planning is a prerequisite not only for achieving success, it is equally a means of surviving in a complex and competitive world. Now this, the head of Civil Service of the Federation for Lashade Yemieson said the service-wide training program for the reinforcement of planning officers cadre in the civil service. Haman Jabani reports.
Through planning, managers can compare different alternatives with their benefits and limitations, which helps to make rational decisions by choosing the best possible alternative. Cost-effective methods can be chosen, which can also prove to be the most profitable one, and it forces organizations to look ahead. It is in the light of this that the head of civil service of the Federation described the mainstreaming planning officers into the main civil service will go a long way in providing standards, increased efficiency, and proper coordination.
The focus of this initiative is to identify and develop a new and cerebral crop of officers to effectively carry out corporate and strategic planning through research activities.
Other speakers say having these 253 planning officers in the civil service will help to critically assess the goals of government. Effective functioning will be achieved with more other benefits lacking over the years in the service.
The strengthening of the cadre will therefore ensure adequate conceptualization of programs, projects, drive the change culture, as well as facilitate the development of strategic roadmap.
The head of service approved the resuscitation of planning cadre in the civil service through selection, training, and conversion processes. And the first planning officers will undergo training program for 2 weeks, followed by online assignments, projects, and research for 2.5 months. Hamman Jabani, NTA News.
All right, let's talk sports, and Tamara Biwe will guide us.
Welcome to Sports Update. I am Tamara Ebiwe. We'll be talking hockey now, where 6 matches will be decided on match day 3, Tuesday, of the ongoing 2021 National Hockey Super League, Package B of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja. The competition, organized by the Nigeria Hockey Federation, is to select clubs that will represent Nigeria at the Africa Hockey Cup for Club Champions, scheduled for Malawi later in the year. On Monday, Delta Queens walloped Imo Heartland 6-0. Kada Queens and Plateau Queens played goalless. Yobe Queens earned a 4-0 win over IGP Babes in the women's category, while Kada Stars defeated Yobe Desert Rollers 3-0 in the men's category.
A lot of young people coming in, proving that they are ready to take the shirts from those national team.
Away from hockey now, judokas across the country from the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT, including military and paramilitary, will be competing in a 1-week national championship. at the Obafemi Awolowo Stadium in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. The Nigeria Judo Federation says a seminar for coaches and referees will precede the event on 13 and 15 July, while main action will take place from July 16 to 18. To football now, it's Italy and Spain playing the first semi-finals of the ongoing Euro 2020 on Tuesday, as the battle to lift the trophy is reduced to only 4 teams. The Three Lions of England take on Denmark on Wednesday in the second semi-final. Not done with football, after observing Monday as rest day, the first semi-final of Copa America holds on Tuesday between Brazil and Peru. The second semis involving Argentina and Colombia will be decided on Wednesday. And that's What's Update. I am Tamara Ibiwe.
That's nationwide. Thank you for your time with us. But remember, please, let's not give up in the fight against rape and rapists. I'm Ruth Aguele. Bye.